So, you're a founder and you need to understand your market. Today, we are going to walk through a playbook that completely changes the game. We're talking about how to do professional grade market research using AI, turning what used to be a massive cost into your own secret weapon. And let's just start with the numbers, right? Because they tell the whole story. On one side, you have traditional market research. We're talking $75,000 and a 12-week wait. On the other side, AI, $20 and about 4 weeks. I mean, this isn't just a small improvement. It's a total revolution in how you can validate your ideas.
But here's the catch. Most founders have this amazing tool, and the results they're getting are, well, pretty terrible. It just feels overhyped. The thing is, the problem isn't the tool. It's that most people are using this incredible AI engine for the most basic, simple tasks, and they're completely missing out on its real power. I'm guessing this probably sounds familiar. You type in a simple question, you get this generic wall of text back, and you just close the tab. You are definitely not alone, but stick with me here, because I'm about to show you the method that unlocks those deep, valuable insights you were actually hoping for.
Okay, so let's get into why this isn't just some clever little hack. Honestly, it's an absolute necessity for anyone trying to build something new today. The market has already made its decision, and the data, it's undeniable.
Get this. A staggering 92% of Fortune 500 companies are already using ChatGPT. This is not some fringe tech that's on the horizon. Nope. It's deeply woven into the biggest, most successful companies in the world. They've already figured out the advantage. And you know, the risk of getting left behind here is very real. Research teams that don't use AI are four times more likely to lose influence inside their own companies. It's pretty simple. If you're not using these tools, you're not just a little slower, you're on your way to becoming irrelevant.
And it isn't just the giant corporations. Just look at the pros in the field. A majority, 53% of actual market researchers are already using AI regularly. The people who do this for a living have already made the switch. So yeah, the early adopter phase, that's over.
So here's the main takeaway. This is no longer optional. Using AI for deep research isn't about getting a leg up anymore. It's about meeting the new standard. It's the baseline. It's the starting point from which all serious projects are now going to be built. Okay, so how do you actually do it right? Let's get into the practical, hands-on playbook. And it all starts with one fundamental shift in how you talk to the AI.
The single most important trick is called role prompting. You don't just ask a question. First, you tell ChatGPT who it is. You are an expert, you are an analyst, you are a critic. This one simple step focuses the AI, it wakes up the most relevant parts of its training, and it gives you specialized, super high-quality answers. See, you're not asking a chatbot for help, you're directing a specialist. And this just shows you the difference perfectly. The prompt on the left gets you a vague, Wikipedia-style paragraph. But the one on the right, where you give the AI a specific persona and context, that gets you a structured analysis with market drivers, key players, and data you can actually defend. The quality of the output is just light years ahead.
So, using that role prompting technique, we can build a whole market view with just 5 core prompts. And these 5 will give you like 80% of the foundational knowledge you need. Everything from analyzing your competitors to defining your buyer personas, sizing the market, analyzing sentiment, and uncovering those core jobs to be done. Let's just quickly break down what each one gives you. The competitor analysis prompt, it'll spit out a full SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats for your main rivals. Buyer persona generates these super detailed customer profiles, complete with their goals and biggest headaches. TAM, SAM, SOM, that gives you a market size estimate you can actually defend, with a clear methodology you can put right in your pitch deck. With sentiment analysis, you can pull the key themes from hundreds of reviews in just a few minutes. And finally, jobs to be done helps you figure out the real underlying customer needs your product absolutely has to solve. Altogether, this is a complete research package.
So this is a really powerful foundation. But to use this tool responsibly, it is absolutely crucial that you understand its limits. This is the reality check, and honestly, it's where a lot of founders get burned. So let's be crystal clear. AI makes mistakes. It hallucinates. In fact, almost half of marketers run into inaccuracies from AI every single week. It will just invent statistics, it will cite sources that don't exist, and it will do it with total confidence. You cannot afford to take its output as gospel. So the mindset here is everything. This tool is a research accelerator, not a research replacement. It does the heavy lifting, gathering and summarizing info at an insane speed, but you, the founder, you have to do the critical work of checking the facts and thinking strategically. So how do you protect yourself? It's actually pretty simple. First, you verify every single number against a primary source. Second, you use features like Deep Research that can browse the live web for the most recent data. And third, and this is the most important one, you have to talk to actual humans. Layer all your AI findings with 10 or 15 real customer interviews. Remember, the AI generates hypotheses. Real people are what validate them. Okay, so how do you pull all this together into a process that actually works? Here's a concrete week-by-week plan to get you from zero to total market clarity in just 1 month. Think of it as a 4-week sprint. Week 1 is all about mapping the landscape. Who are your competitors? How big is the market? Week 2, you go deep on the customer, building out those personas and really understanding their problems. Week 3 is critical. This is where you validate everything with real data and those real interviews. And then in week 4, you pull it all together into a clear strategy. And this isn't a shortcut. It's just a smarter path. This structured workflow will give you 80% of the core insights you'd get from a professional agency, but you get it done in a fraction of the time and for a tiny, tiny fraction of the cost. It's all about being efficient and effective. Which brings us right back to where we started. The old way. That was for well-funded companies with big budgets and tons of time. But this new way, this is for you. It completely democratizes access to the kind of strategic insight that used to be locked behind a massive paywall. So just think for a second about what this really means. That $75,000 head start that funded startups used to have, it's gone. It's evaporated. The playing field has been completely leveled. So the question for success is no longer about who has more money for research. It's about who asks better questions. The constraint isn't your budget anymore, it's your curiosity. It's your ability to direct these powerful tools in the right way. The advantage now belongs to the sharpest thinkers, not the deepest pockets. And that founder, well, that can and should be you.